Welcome everyone. The topic for this presentation is going to be the excretory system. The topics covered will be the introduction, anatomy of the urinary system, anatomy of kidneys, nephrons, and mechanism of urine formation. The urinary system, also known as the renal system, is responsible for filtering waste products from the blood and expelling them from the body as urine. It consists of kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder, and urethra. The kidneys filter blood to remove waste and excess substances, producing urine. The urine then travels through the ureters to the bladder for storage until it is expelled through the urethra during urination. The urinary system also helps regulate blood pressure, electrolyte balance, and red blood cell production. The urinary system consists of several key anatomical structures, namely the kidneys, paired organs located on either side of the spine just below the ribcage. The kidneys filter waste products and excess substances from the blood to produce urine. Ureters, two muscular tubes that transport urine from the kidneys to urinary bladder. Each kidney has one ureter. Renal artery and renal veins. These blood vessels supply and drain blood from the kidneys. The renal arteries deliver oxygenated blood to the kidneys, while the renal veins carry deoxygenated blood away from them. Urinary bladder, a hollow muscular organ that stores urine until it is expelled out from the body. It is located in the pelvic cavity just behind the pubic bone. Urethra, a tube that carries urine from the bladder to the outside of the body. In males, the urethra also serves as a passage for semen during ejaculation. These structures work together to remove waste products from the body and maintain proper fluid balance and electrolyte levels. The kidney is a complex organ with highly organized internal structure. Here is an overview of its anatomy. Renal cortex. The outer region of the kidneys containing structures like renal corpuscles and renal tubules. It houses the nephrons, the functional units responsible for filtering the blood and producing urine. Renal medulla. The inner region of the kidneys consisting of the renal pyramids and renal columns. The renal pyramids contain collecting ducts and tubules that transport urine to the renal pelvis. Renal pelvis, a funnel-shaped structure that collects urine from the collecting duct within the renal pyramids. It funnels urine to the ureter, which carries it to the urinary bladder. Nephrons. These are the microscopic structural and functional unit of the kidneys responsible for filtering blood and producing urine. Each nephron consists of renal corpuscles and renal tubules. Renal corpuscles consist of the glomerulus and the Bowman's capsule. Meanwhile, the renal tubules consist of the proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, distal convoluted tubule, and the collecting duct. Renal capsule, a tough fibrous layer that surrounds each kidney, providing protection and maintaining its shape. Understanding the anatomy of the kidney is essential for comprehending its function in maintaining fluid balance, electrolyte level, and removing waste products from the blood through urine formation. Now that we have familiarized ourselves with the structure of kidneys, let's dive into the nephrons. The nephron is a functional unit of kidneys responsible for filtering blood and producing urine. It consists of several key components. Renal corpuscle. This is the initial part of the nephron which contains of two main structures. Glomerulus, a network of capillaries where blood filtration occurs. It is surrounded by Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule, a double-walled cup-shaped structure surrounding the glomerulus. It collects the filtrate from the blood. Renal tubules. After the filtrate is collected in the Bowman's capsule, it passes through the renal tubules, which is divided into several segments. Proximal convoluted tubules, the first part of the renal tubules where most of the reabsorption of water, ions, and nutrients occur. Loop of Henle or nephron's loop. A U-shaped portion of the tubules consists of descending and ascending limbs. It plays a crucial role in water and electrolyte balance. Distal convoluted tubules, the segment of renal tubules located after the loop of Henle. It is involved in further reabsorption and secretion of ions and molecules. Collecting duct, the final portion of the nephron where urine collected and transported towards the renal pelvis. Juxtaglomerular apparatus. This is a specialized region of nephron located near the glomerulus at the beginning of DCT, also known as the distal convoluted tubule. It consists of cells involved in regulating blood pressure and filtration rate. The nephron's intricate structure and function allows the precise regulation of water and electrolyte balance, pH, and waste elimination from the body. Now that we know that the urine is formed in the nephrons and expelled at the urethra, let's see how urine is formed. Urine formation in the nephrons involves several processes. First is filtration. Blood enters the glomerulus, a network of capillaries under high pressure. Small molecules like water, ions, glucose, and waste products are forced out of the blood into the Bowman's capsule, forming a fluid called filtrate. Large molecules like proteins and blood cells remain in the bloodstream. Reabsorption. As the filtrate flows through the renal tubules, essential substances like glucose, ions, and water is reabsorbed back into the bloodstream. This occurs primarily in the proximal convoluted tubule but also continues through the nephron, especially in the loop of Henle and distal convoluted tubules. Reabsorption ensures that vital substances are retained in the body. Secretion. In the renal tubules, certain substances such as hydrogen ions and potassium ions and drugs are actively transported from the blood into the filtrate. This process occurs primarily in the distal convoluted tubules and collecting ducts. It helps in elimination of excess substances from the body. Concentration. In the loop of Henle, water is reabsorbed from the filtrate, concentrating it and conserving water in the body. This process is crucial for maintaining proper fluid balance. Final adjustments. Further adjustments are made to compensate for the urine in the DCT and collecting ducts, including regulation of pH and electrolyte balance. Excretion. The final product urine exits the collecting ducts and is transported to the renal pelvis, where it is eventually expelled from the body through the ureters, urinary bladder, and urethra during urination. Through the processes, nephrons regulate the composition and volume of body fluids by selectively filtrating, reabsorbing, and secreting substances, ultimately producing urine. Thanks for watching.